Okay, here we are, another episode of Iron Sharpens Iron. I'm here with my man Tommy, who has been crushing it inside the Force Father program, and beyond crushing it in the Force Father program, you're crushing it in school and everything else, man. So I know you've got a very, very filled plate, so to speak, man. So big appreciation and kudos to you for sticking with the program and putting in the work, man. I know it's not easy with all this different stuff that you're juggling. So
yeah, thank you.
Respect to you, man. But it's good to have you on the show. Like I was telling you before, really just take some time to dig into your specific wins and your progress up to this point, and see where we're going next, man. So just kind of do a quick introduction.
Oh, great. Tommy, like I said, let's see, I got the idea. I mean, I've tried working out in the past. I've done it, and I've done pretty good over the last couple of years, just incorporating different things. I picked up running and yoga, but there was more that I felt like I needed. And then I got into school. My old job shut down, so had to find something new. Either move away and keep doing what I was doing, or invest some time back into my education and do something that I knew I'd love doing for the rest of my life. And so making that choice, kind of like you talked about, a full plate, it really just piled a lot on, and a lot of things have to take the back burner. And I tried keeping up on the exercise as much as I could. I didn't let it slip away completely, but it was severely diminished. And then started seeing little Facebook ads for the program, and I was each time I saw it, I was like, well, that's sounds like something that I would like, and just kind of let it fester in me for a little while. And then I finally made the decision to go see Travis and see what it's all about. And just glad I took that step. It took a little bit to find the right spot. 5:30 in the morning, was pretty much the sweet spot for me. And without the program, I wouldn't be getting up at 5:30 in the morning to work out, on my own. I'd set alarms. I always had the best intentions of getting up and working out, but I'd set my alarm, and then just 5 o'clock would roll around, and I'd just shut it off. Like, I'll sleep till 6. And but having something to go to, that group of people who are not necessarily relying on me, but it's kind of, in a way, we rely on each other. I'm going to show up because I know they're going to show up, and likewise they're going to show up because they know I'm going to show up, and we're going to be there together, and we're going to work out. So having that extra push to get up in the morning and to go do it really set me up for being able to do it, to make time to get through it. So it was exactly what I needed. So
yeah, it's interesting you say that, because we always have great intentions of doing something like XYZ, like you can put a blank after that. I have great intentions of doing whatever, but typically the reason we don't follow through on that is we just don't have the leverage. Like, the leverage isn't there to actually nudge us forward. And so, when you get involved with something like that, you get that extra bit of accountability, then it becomes real, and it's like, oh shit, now I actually have to show up now, right?
Yeah.
and then great things happen. Who would have thought? Like, you actually show up and get consistent with putting in the work. That's where the magic happens, man. So with you, we're 6 weeks in now. We're at the 6-week mark, right?
So 5 or 6, somewhere in there.
And so what are some of the big wins for you that we've achieved up to this point?
Well, when I first started, I was thinking, okay, so I put on a few pounds since starting school, and I figured that would happen. And so one of my main goals was to drop some weight, but I haven't dropped a whole ton of weight. Maybe, it depends on the day, really. That I've either lost a couple pounds, maybe up to 5 pounds, but really the big thing that I've seen is just like a redistribution of my body. My arms are getting bigger, my stomach is getting flatter, my legs are getting stronger. Just the other day I was on a bike ride, and my wife was behind me, and she makes a comment about my calf muscles are crazy looking, and I'm like, well, that's a good compliment to get. So it's less. I kind of embrace that less less concerned with what the scale says,
Yep.
and more concerned with how I look, how I feel, um, you know, how my clothes fit, how my clothes look, um, and that's really I mean, I think that's the big win is being able to shift that mindset and not put all your eggs into that one basket. What the scale says is what determines my success, because it's not. It's a whole slew of things. You know, like I said already, how you look and how you feel, but also um, you know, physiologically, everything that's actually going on. You know, putting good food in my body rather than junk food in my body. You know, but that came along with the nutrition. You know, you're constantly mindful of what foods you're eating, because you got to get, you know, I need to get, even if we're only concentrating on the three macros, the protein, the carbs, and the fat, that really makes you think about, okay, do I need that donut, or how about this big giant piece of chicken? So
it's going to nourish you better, right? So
right.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And I like that you hit on the fact that, like, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially when it comes to like tracking progress and overall, you know, results. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because last Tuesday for our live roundtable, that was like the focus of discussion. So we have like four key areas that we want to focus in on with like result tracking, right? And so like one of the areas is actual like metrics, right? So body weight is one, but body fat percentage, like if there's anything to focus in on, like focus in on your body fat percentage, like your body composition. So for you, I remember when you came in, it wasn't so much like I need to lose a ton of weight. It was just like, I just want to, you know, improve my body composition. And so that's basically what we've done. And so you've lost body fat, but we've added muscle back on. And so your body's going to take on a completely different look when that happens. Plus you're going to, and then another category. So we got metrics. So like body weight, body fat percentage, things like that. And then we've got like our visual side. And so pictures say, you know, 1,000 words, right? And then we've got our biomarkers. So like how you actually feel. So energy, mood, sleep, you know, focus, all that type of stuff. And then the fourth category, we got the performance, right? So like actual increase in strength, fitness, you know, you name it, what we can track like before and after performance wise. That's another important area that we want to focus in on. So it sounds like, boom, we've shifted forward in all those areas. So it's good. But I know for a lot of guys, when they're not focusing in on all these different realms of how you can track progress, they get in that bad state. It's like, oh, the scale's not moving. You know, and that could be like one of the biggest enemies for a guy, is like just focusing in on that scale weight, right? Where that's, you know, really little to nothing that's going to tell the actual story, right? So,
yeah.
But, so yeah, we've had good wins there. What other wins in addition to that have you experienced, man?
The other one that's pretty big for me is kind of focus and time management. You know, like we get on our phones nowadays, and we again, it's back to that intentions. You know, I'm gonna check this for a few minutes, and then a few minutes turns into 15 minutes, a half an hour. So I've gotten a little bit, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm full on, you know, the best at that yet, but I get more mindful of it. But the focus, it's very helpful when I'm studying, when I'm, you know, doing things for work, being able to, you know, my mind has gotten more, I don't know another word for focus, so I'm just gonna keep saying focus, but I can concentrate better on one thing, where I'm recognizing when, okay, I've been studying and now they're not sinking in anymore. So now it's time to take a break. I'm recognizing those sorts of things. The time that I'm spending doing certain things, either studying or whatever, are more effective.
More efficient. Yeah.
So that's definitely helpful as I'm doing what I'm doing. Just, you know, just because I don't have time to be staring at books, not thinking, not having any of that information sink in. That's just a waste of my time. So
I remember our initial conversation. That was like one of the big things that you're struggling with, was just the whole time management thing as a whole. Like your days were just like bleeding into the next, and it felt like you were just so busy and you couldn't fit anything else in. And you hit it right on the head. Like you were getting more focused, but the key is like we only have 24 hours in a day. Like you can't add more time. What we can do is just become more efficient with our time, right? And so looking at like what we do inside Forge Fathers, like the planning piece. And so just like prepping and planning ahead, and then actually laying things out in accordance to your lifestyle, your routines, and just making sure those routines are set up better for your success, right? Because I remember, and that was one of the things that kind of threw you off initially, was you had all this stuff going on. You had school, you got to study for school, and then you got to work on top of that. And it's like, you never set aside time for yourself for like fitness. And so when you don't do that, then hell yeah, you're always going to be too busy. You know, you're never going to be able to fit it in. Whereas it's like, you make that a priority because, well, we look at where you're at now, you've made that a priority. You're able to focus better. You have more energy. You're more efficient with, you know, study time and things like that. You have just more endurance and stamina. It's benefiting you, you know?
Oh yeah.
That's huge, man.
That, you know, having the energy. So if I am studying, sometimes, you know, when you're sitting and staring at books, you get kind of tired and you don't want to go straight from that into a workout. But now if I, like you're saying, scheduling and planning that stuff ahead. So if I know, hey, I'm gonna study from 9 to 11, and then 11 o'clock, I'm getting up and I'm going to go work out. Just because I know after that 2 hours of studying, it's not going to be effective anymore. So let's plan something in that hour. And before, again, like kind of like pushing the snooze button, I'd get to 11 o'clock and I'd be like, I am drained, mentally drained. I don't want to go work out. Now I'm much more likely to fulfill that, you know?
Yeah. And you break it up, right? And that's something that allows you to be more efficient, because like, let's say that you have 6 hours, like how would you make that 6 hours as effective as possible, like in regards to like studying, right? Like you get to like the 90-minute mark, like our brains just start to shut down. Like we can only focus for so long. And so usually it's like that hour to 90-minute mark that you want to stop, take a breather, switch your mind off. And I can't remember who it was, but they recommend like 33-minute blocks. I don't know why the 33, but it's like 33-minute blocks, and then take 10 minutes or 9 minutes to yourself. And I don't know why these numbers are like off. It's not like 20 minutes and then 10, but it's like 33 minutes. I think they did some study. It's like you can be as efficient and focused as possible for 33 minutes. And then after that point, it starts to diminish, and you need to do some sort of activity for like 9 minutes to completely take your brain off of what you're just doing. And so you like go do something like walk, watch TV, you know, read a book if you're doing something totally different, work out, maybe do some push-ups or something, but you just get your brain completely off of it. And then if you go into another block, boom, it's like you're hitting the reset button. Now you can focus back in and you can be effective at that time again. And it's important to do that, because now when you look at that 6 hour block or whatever, like you break it up into like separate little blocks. And it's something about, and I know you understand this, but when we set deadlines for ourselves, like either if that's weeks down the road or even just within like a time block, we're going to get a lot more done with that deadline set than if we're just like, I'll just do it until I'm done. Right.
Right.
So there's no deadline. There's no urgency. And so it's like you start studying and you're just like, I'll just keep going until I fall asleep. Whereas, okay, I got 30 minutes to get through these next chapters. More than likely, you're going to get through those chapters. You're just going to find a way to do it. It's just like, it's interesting. It's human nature, man. So, but it's cool, man. So we've seen a lot of improvements there. For you, like, what are some of the big, I guess, breakthroughs that you've had, like, since starting up with this program, man?
Well, let's see. You got try to put it all together. But as far as breakthroughs go, I mean, strength wise, I'm starting to get some of that back pretty good. The soreness, I guess, that initial soreness. I'll tell you, the first Monday was after the sled pushes. I mean, I felt miserable. It was a struggle to get through them. Each day, kind of, you're like, oh, this is the worst. Oh no, then Wednesday, like, oh, this is the worst, and then each Friday, like, oh, this is and so, I think for me that the biggest breakthroughs were each time where the sled pushes didn't make me nauseous anymore. I didn't spend the weekend, after doing the step ups on Friday, I didn't spend the weekend struggling to walk up and down the stairs. It's those little breakthroughs where your body's getting used to it and reshaping itself and getting back into being able to do things without the added soreness and stuff. And then this last yesterday, Friday, shaved off pretty significant amount of time on my burpees. 30 burpees was I was I think I started the first time was about 2.5 minutes to get through 30 burpees.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I was down to 205.
Nice.
So that, I mean, if I could break the 2 minute, get under the 2 minute mark here, eventually I think that'd be great. But
Yeah.
just getting down, I think that much, I think it was a 14-second improvement over the week before.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty big to me.
Yeah. That's huge.
And then what other ones? The bear crawls and stuff like that. I didn't quite get to the little wheel, but I was I got to the scooter. I was doing rather than doing the plank walk or whatever it's called. I was putting the back feet up on the scooter and dragging myself across the floor. So that made me feel pretty good. That Cody recognized, hey, that looks like it's too easy for you. Why don't you try this? And it works. So I like again, that's a breakthrough to me, personally, just like a little bit of recognition that I'm making progress. And so
it's cool. It's cool to see that, because it's all about the consistency. And so when you're consistent, you can see these jumps in performance, and then obviously the physique starts to follow through, right? And so you got to be patient with the process, but it's so fulfilling, when you're going through that stuff. And so like the first week is always going to be the hardest, right? Like you're super sore, and you're battling. Like if you see steps, you like curse, my name and Cody's name under your breath. But then like the weeks to come, you're like, yeah, bring on the challenge. Like what else you guys got for me? And then you start to accept that, and then it's almost addicting to see where we can push our bodies next.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
where we're going to be. That's where we all should be. Like we should be striving to continually push the envelope and get 1% better every single day. Just that 1% better, one more step, go for one more second, shave a second off your time, whatever the case may be. That's like, improving as a human, really.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's real fun, man. And it's been cool to see you progress over time. And, when you initially came in, it was great having that conversation, and just, I had a hunch, hey, this guy's going to freaking commit. This guy's going to put in the work, and shoot, man, here we are, brother. So
yeah, I'm looking at that board with all the challenges, and like, all right, I can do that. Here's what I'm going to need work here. So yeah,
I guarantee you've probably earned a white band by this point. So more than likely we're starting to work on that gray band, man. So yeah, so keep putting in the work, and great things are going to happen, man. So for you, like, what are your sights set on moving forward?
Getting, just taking it to the next step, start showing up with the new group, kind of work my way in there, and get a feel for all the different other exercises. That's another thing I like about it too, is, each different exercise you can, there's a muscle I forgot about. And, there's a movement that I hadn't done or couldn't do before, and now I can. So just kind of work my way in with that, get to know all of the movements, focus on the technique, and then, hopefully by then, by the summertime, I finish up in school in May, and maybe I'll have it all down by then, and then just really, really try to explode into increasing some of those numbers and getting more stamina, more strength. I'd really like to see some huge gains, I guess, over the summer.
Yep, all in good time, man. All in good time. Now that we're finally past this winter, this long, harsh winter that we just went through in Nebraska.
Don't jinx it.
Hopefully not. Like who knows? We'll get another snowstorm or something. But hopefully we're past that, man. But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see what's ahead. Beyond that, do you have any I guess one piece of advice for anybody that might be listening to this, like another guy that's out there that's looking to, I guess, that might be in the situation that you were in before you started? What would you say to that guy, man?
It's don't let the commitment scare you. It's flexible, and the support is here, so that you going into it, you're going to have all kinds of concerns, worries. How am I going to fit this in? What can I, is this just too much? It's flexible enough to give you, you make it, what I did. I showed up at 6:30. I showed up at 5:30 at night. I showed up at 5:30 in the morning. It took me a little bit of time to find, the perfect slot for me. But when I did, it was very, I guess, I don't know, very, very refreshing, very relaxing. Now I'm doing all the things that I wanted to do. I feel a lot better about myself. Kind of like I alluded to before, we all want to do this. There's a reason. If you're at that initial meeting, if you're thinking about it, if you're looking at the videos and you're like, would this be something I want to do? Well, the seed's already planted. You're already thinking about it. You want to do it.
Yeah.
Just take that step to do it, and then while you're doing it, you're not gonna be able to force yourself into any one regimen, but the regimen itself will adapt to you. And so having that flexibility, and then having just the people that you're working out with makes it that much easier, that much better. So if it's an idea you're kicking around, then it's good for you. Then I recommend taking it to the next step. At least give it a shot, because I mean, like you said, I was not sure how I was going to fit this into my schedule. I had kids to get to school in the morning, classes for myself. I had work, I had school, and it fit in. It just fit. We found a way to make it work, and a little bit of sacrifice on my time getting up in the morning. It's not really even a sacrifice. It's a blessing, just getting up every day with the drive, with the purpose, and it's a great way to get your day started or ended if you want to show up at in the evening classes. So
I love it,
if you work the night shift.
yeah, we got some of those guys, man.
Yeah, I've been there, and I may be back there within a year. So
yeah. That's just great stuff that you share. And I remember in that initial chat that we had, like you were telling me your schedule. I was like, man, I don't know. I mean, we can try to make it work, but it sounds like you're busy. And ultimately, that's like you hit it on the head, man. Like you got to make sacrifices. If this is something that you want, like you need to change, like you're probably gonna have to change your lifestyle up a little bit. Right? Like you're gonna have to make some sacrifices here and there. You're gonna have to wake up early, or work out later in the day, or whatever the case may be. But you got to make that a part of your lifestyle if you want to become this leaner, fitter, more energized guy. You just got to do it. But one other thing that I would add in there, basically what you're saying is like, you're going to waste so much time and you're never going to do anything if you're constantly thinking about how to make it perfect, right? And so it's like, do exactly what you said. You got to take that first step, then adjust on the go. It's like the book, one of my favorite books, man, the title says it all. It's like ready, fire, aim. It's like just fire away and then worry about, trying to hit the target after you've gotten started, because that's half the battle is actually, getting started. Like nobody gets started. They're too worried about thinking about, well, what happens if this? What happens if that? It's like, well, you never get the actual chance to make any changes on the fly because you've never started, Yep. And so that's a great message that you share there, man. But yeah, dude, like I said, I'm super excited for the next step. And come summertime, it's going to be really cool to see where you're at, man. So keep hammering away and keep being the example, dude. Like, that's what this program is ultimately about is, building leaders, building role models, and guys that just basically lead by example, man. So awesome.
It's definitely, like you said, be the leader, be the example. When my kids see me doing stuff, being active, I think that's one of the biggest wins I can take from it. Them being curious, looking at me, what's dad doing? Maybe I should be doing that too.
Yeah.
So just having that that effect on somebody, and someone who's so important. My kids are a little bit older, both 14 and 17, so they're at points in their lives where building good habits is important.
Yep.
So if I can show them how to do that, that's huge. Yep. If they follow my lead, or if they even just a little bit of what I'm doing,
yep.
I think it's a good start for them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. And that's really what it's all about. But we can never do that unless we do it ourselves. Like we don't want to be that hypocrite, like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, but then you don't do it yourself. Right. So that's what leading by example is all about, man. Love it.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, thanks again for coming on. I appreciate your time. And
thank you.
This was powerful. A lot of golden nuggets in here. And I know anybody that watches this, like, listen to what this man is saying, take the action and do it.
Do it. Just do it. Right. Like Nike says.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. But yeah, that first step, take it. I know there's a saying in there. I don't have it right now, but every journey begins with that first step. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
um,
Okay.
so